It's been on fire. This train's been moving real fast, but get ready. Get ready. We're going to take it up another notch, going to take it to another level. That's exactly what we're going to do right here tonight with our next speaker, Trav Bell. Let me tell you about Trav Bell real quickly as we get ready for him to virtually come up on the screen. Trav Bell is actually living the life of February 3rd. He is in our tomorrow right now, and he is here with us. So Trav Bell is about to come up. And let me tell you a little bit about Trav Bell as we bring him up on the screen. He is based in Victoria, Australia. That's right. He's the founder and CEO of, check this out, he is the bucket list guy. He is the one and only, the bucket list guy. Trav is an author and a keynote speaker who can be seen giving one of his many presentations. He was on TEDx Melbourne, and he's have spoken around the world. He's in touch with global brands around the world. He is the one and only Trav Bell. Trav, how are you doing?
Oh my God, Mel, that was the best introduction. I had to film it. That was so good. Talk about, mate, talk about big shoes. Dr. Karl, Sheles, and yourself, absolutely spitting knowledge. Unbelievable. Look, guys, I'm known as the bucket list guy, and how are we all doing? Good, I hope. Yes, I'm from the future. I'm from Australia. Can you, just so I know that everyone's alive, what I'm going to be doing is looking for a little bit of interaction. Hopefully that's okay. Welcome, Trav. Hey, Tiffany. And I can see the chat. I just want to see that you're alive. Quick question before I start. Can you understand me? I speak Australian, which is kind of like English, but not really. So can you understand me? All right, excited to hear. Hey, Elena, I know some of these people. Oh my God, this is so cool. Excellent, excellent. Hey, awesome, awesome. Hey, another quick question. Who here is, and I want you to type in the word if you can, loud and clear. Thanks, Nick. Are you an entrepreneur or are you an intrapreneur? An entrepreneur is someone that owns a business, and an intrapreneur is someone that works for someone else but reckon they can do a better job. Which one are you, entre or intra? Go to the chat, entre or intra. I just want to see entre, nice, nice. Some people entre. So we've got a lot of entrepreneurs here. Awesome. It does. Probably a question I should ask, paddlepreneur. Thank you very much. And there's probably some entrepreneurs right now that wish they were an intrapreneur, I'm sure, because you know, I'll tell you what. This is thank you for playing there, guys. Is right now it's tough. You know, it's no different here in Australia. We've been through our second wave, and we're all sitting here with bated breath, hoping that no one comes in and creates the third wave. Because, you know, look, it's been tough. It's been tough on me. I've got two businesses. I've got one being the bucket list guy, and also I'm founder CEO of Certified Bucket List Coaches. We've got certified bucket list coaches in 22 countries around the world, and every country has been affected in different ways. And let's be honest, to our entrepreneurs, every single business has gone online, right? Every single business has gone online in the last 6 months. It's been crazy. So we're trying to stand above the crowd, make noise, get attention above the crowd. Meanwhile, trying to run our business, trying to transition. But rather than, you know, paint a dark picture, I think it's really interesting that a lot of people during COVID, you know, and this is why Reset 365 is perfect right now, to do exactly that. Our job right now is to recalibrate. I think you're an idiot if you haven't recalibrated by now. If you're trying to go back to the old normal of how it used to be, and you're still wishing, hoping, praying that that old way is coming back soon, you're dead in the water, straight up. You should have adapted to new technology. You should have definitely innovated. right? You should have definitely innovated by now. If you're still bitching about about going back to the old way, fail, get out of business. Time to reset right now, and redefine. Most importantly, redefine what your new definition of work-life blend looks like. Not work-life balance. Work-life balance is a BS term. All right, nothing ever balances. Not when you're obsessed about what you're doing in business and what you're doing in your life. Nothing ever balances. Work-life blend. So use what the other speakers and Mel and all of our amazing facilitators are doing to reset and readjust, recalibrate on what your new normal is going to be. Okay, what is this definition of work-life blend? I know that's changed for so many people right now, and people have decided to recalibrate on not just their work, not just their business, but on their life. They've asked themselves, I know, especially because we've seen it all around the world, people are recalibrating on or asking themselves the big questions. Am I happy? Have I got a feeling, have I got meaning in my life? And I want you to ask these questions for yourself right now. Have I got meaning in my life right now? Have I got purpose in my life? Am I fulfilled in my life? A lot of people have taken, really, we've been given a blessing, an opportunity to take a big global collective deep breath in and really think deep, take time out of our life and stop and to recalibrate. And a lot of people have changed. A lot of people have changed, not just in business, but like I said, in life. I'm going to give you some concepts today to help you think about your life. Maybe a different perspective, maybe it's just icing on the cake. This might even be a massive aha moment for you right now. Quick one. I've been the bucket list guy. I've been running around the world as the bucket list guy for the last 10 years. Prior to doing what I do now, and right now I'm a speaker, I'm a founder, CEO, I'm a coach. I've been doing that for the last 10 years. And before that, just a bit of a background, I was the first to franchise personal fitness training here in Australia. So started with one client, took it up to tens of thousands of clients, did nearly over 2 million personal training sessions. Not just me, but my team of 300 odd personal trainers, and grew it into, a really big personal training company. But some toxic people came into my life, some business situations got on top of me. I found myself, after 20 years in being in the personal training industry, I found myself in a bit of a downward spiral. I slipped into a bout of depression, albeit quite mild compared to what I've heard since. And yeah, things got on top of me. And that was one of those moments where I had to go, all right, well, do I go on heavy antidepressants, which is kind of like a Band-Aid effect? This might be relevant for you right now. Or do I stick it out, not go on the antidepressants, and and do I go into things like Reset 365? Do I read the books? Do I get around positive people? Because my ecosystem was pretty toxic at that point in time. That's why these things, and that's why you participating on today, on this seminar right now, right here, is a moment in time for you to do that reset. So I did that reset about 10 years ago. Found myself in personal development seminars, doing everything, walking on fire, hugging it out and high-fiving it with strangers, running to the back of the room, upgrading, buying more, breaking the arrows, bending the bars, bunching the boards and all that personal development stuff, rah, motivation. I worked through some stuff. And then at the end of it, a friend of mine said, hey, Trav, why don't you teach this stuff? So I summed up the courage. That was the big domino that I had to push over in my life. I put on a talk. It was pretty crappy when I look back on it compared to what I do now. But then about halfway through, I started sharing my list to do before I die. I always had one since I was 18. Not a lot of people knew this about me. And I started sharing some of the lists that I had since I was 18. And it was my reason for getting out of bed in the morning. It was my reason for making decisions quick in my business is my tangible reason why. I say a bucket list is a tangible life plan where our career plan or our business plan should fit into our life plan and not be the other way around. So what I'm sharing with you today is a way for you to compartmentalize and really bring home that work to live principle, all right? Not the other way around. So if we do our businesses right, it should produce two things and two things only: cash flow and also time flow, if it's optimized, right? Double bonus if you actually love what you do, which I'm sure you do, and it's hitting your values, your internal rule book. I think that's the holy grail, right? You love what you do, tick, and it's producing the cash flow and the time flow for you to do your bucket list with you and your family. Hang out and do cool experiences before your time is up. I started sharing my list to do before I die with this group, and then at the end, Joe, one of the participants, said, "Hey, how's all this list to do before you die stuff? It's really fired everyone up. It's like a bucket list. You're like the bucket list guy." I went, ping, light bulb moment, went home and registered the bucketlistguy.com, and I've been doing that ever since. Running around the world, speaking at big conferences, doing TEDx talks, doing books, brand new book here, by the way, and really helping people to live a more fulfilled life. And I pinch myself, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. But, I talk to a lot of entrepreneur groups. I talk to a lot of people who are maybe disengaged in their life that need that wake-up call. I mean, look, let's quickly look at the movie, right? The bucket list. Just quick show of hands or in the chat there. Let's go in the chat. Who has seen the movie The Bucket List? Show of hands, go for it. Or put it in the chat. Me, or if you haven't, put it in there. Remember what I said about participation? Yep. Melissa, thank you very much. Yolanda, yep, great. We'll be watching it tonight. Me. Tommy, Bree, Quinn, awesome. All right. So a lot of us have seen it. Look, spoiler alert. Yeah, thanks, Karl. Spoiler alert. It's about two guys, two blokes as we call them here in Australia, two blokes that get given a cancer diagnosis and then they write a bucket list. That's why it's got a bit of a negative connotation. Now, that's stupid, isn't it? Why should we write, let alone action, our bucket list when we get given a use-by date? We should be, hang on, I don't know, is it just me, or should we actually be doing this stuff before we get given a use-by date? Hello? It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Now, my whole mission here is to help wake people up, help wake you up before you get given a use-by date, right? So the average age of death, all right? Have you guys got a pen and paper there? Have you guys got a pen and paper handy? Yeah? Beautiful. I want you to do a 10 by 8 grid. A 10 by 8 grid. That's 10 lines across and 8 lines down. And you'll reveal with the 10 by 8 grid, no need to get the ruler out or anything like that, but a 10 by 8 grid will reveal 80 squares. Now just, here we go. So it should look like this. Boom. Can you guys see that? 10 by 8 grid. Awesome. When you've drawn that 10 by 8 grid, I want you to just put yes, yes in the chat when you've drawn that 10 by 8 grid. Now, this is really poignant. This is really important as part of what I'm going to share with you. All right. Thanks, Brenda. Awesome. Thanks, Chelsea. Great. All right, have you done that 10 by? Look, for the accountants and the wannabe architects in the room, thanks, Tori. This doesn't have to be perfect. It can be crappy if you really. Who cares? It doesn't matter as long as we got 8 square. We got 80 squares. All right, here we go. Check this out. Looking down at that grid right now, mine is crappy. LOL. Yeah, thanks, Yolanda. So when you look down at those squares. Fun fact, the average age of death in the US and Australia, about the same, is 83 for you girls and 79 for us blokes. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but our mortality rates are a little bit less. So we've got 3 questions for you. 1, how many of you, and I want you to put in the chat again, how many of you know people who have been diagnosed or died from cancer? Just give us a drop your questions. All right, yep. How many of you know people who have been diagnosed or died from cancer? Just put yes, 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 I do, or not at all. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Sheles. Thanks, Tommy. Joy, fantastic. You do. All right, great. So 80 squares, we're going to call, 83, 79, we're going to call it 80 squares. That's how, right on the screen right now, that's how much time we've got on average on Earth. Right, we're not going to talk about afterlife or anything like that just now. That's a whole other conversation. All right, so you all know people who have been diagnosed or died from cancer. Second question, how many people do you know have been diagnosed or died from cancer? How many people do you know have been diagnosed or died from cancer? Normally, if we're doing this face-to-face, I'll get you to put up your fingers. It'll get you to put up your fingers. Is it 2? Is it 10? Is it 8? Just have a think in your circle of influence, in your ecosystem, how many people that you know. All right, Tasha, 6. Thank you very much. Chelsea, 4. Here we go. Too many to count by Tiffany. At least 6. 5 from Joy. Tommy, 5. Brenda, 10. At least 5 from Tori. 6 to 8. Nick. All right, Bree, at least 10. I think we get the picture, Trav. All right, is this a motivational seminar, mate, or what are you trying to do? Get us depressed? All right, I've got one last thing I want to talk about. All right, and this is probably the most poignant thing I'm going to ask you today, is how many of them that you just wrote down, 6, 8s, 5s, 2s, whatever it was, how many of them made their 80 squares? One, 0. None. 1. All right. I've done this, guys. I've done this all around the world, this exercise. I've done it in front of Tori, none that I know of. Thank you for, thanks for playing here, guys. I know it's a heavy, heavy topic. It's going to get better from here. just to let you know. Wow, guys, who bought the motivational speaker? Yeah, I didn't get on for this. I'm going to go and have a drink. So the deal is, I want you to let that really sink in. We don't know when our time is up, and we live in a world of delayed gratification. Nothing's more sadder, I think, than a person that sacrifices their happiness now to enjoy later. Our superannuation, or your 401k in our retirement, it's all built. It's all built to enjoy later. Sacrifice now to enjoy later. The statistics around depression, anxiety, the loneliness, we've now got this thing called the loneliness epidemic. It's an actual thing. Google it. The loneliness epidemic. It's the adverse effect of social media. It's huge. We all think we're more connected, but we're actually more disconnected than ever before. Suicides, youth suicides. This is scary stuff. These are statistics. I also know that 89% of Americans are what they call disengaged at work. There's 89% of you that go to work every day and you're just going to work, getting the paycheck, coming home. You're not really into it. All right. So I want to give you some real tools, some real tangible tools that are obviously outlined in the book in a lot more detail, but I want to kind of get into it, right? And I know time is very limited. First things first, we're going to write a bucket list. Why do we write a bucket list? Well, this is an opportunity to take time out of our life to work on our life. The thing is, we're so busy on our daily to-do list that we forget about our bucket list until something traumatic or dramatic happens to you or a loved one, right? I want to flip that around. I want you to change perspective, all right? Not just for this seminar, but to have. Now, I'm a speaker here, along with the other speakers. I've got to say stuff to wake you up, seriously wake you up, so that our time together makes a long-lasting impression, not for yourself, but for your family as well. This is an opportunity for you to put your own oxygen mask on first before you can help others. I want you to use this information. I'm going to go through it relatively quick for you first. This is a self-leadership lesson. This is a self-leadership exercise. It's time to prioritize your life plan, your bucket list. And B, as a result, by living it, by doing it and actually living it, be the example for others, especially your kids, especially your team members, especially your partner, especially your mates. Be the example for others to follow. Be the example that people want to be around. Be a bucket lister, glass half full kind of guy or kind of girl. Because the world freaking needs you right now to do that. Because we're surrounded by like the worst of the worst right now. The news, our ecosystem, we've got control of our inputs. Having been through depression, number one thing, write 5 gratitudes every single night. All right, write 5 gratitudes every single night to switch off your monkey mind, to get into a happier place so you have a better night's rest. And 2, switch off the news. I won't curse, but switch off the news. All right, 2 surefire ways to put you in a happier place right away. 3rd one, make sure you pay reset 365, and what I'm saying right now, forward to someone else straight away. Okay, get around the speakers, get around the content. All right, so let's get into it. What I want to do is just quickly move forward. Let's go to, back to here. All right, I just moved forward too fast then. Here we go. Go back, Trav. All right, I'm going to introduce you to a concept called, real quick, and panelists, I've got no idea on how much time I've got here, so I'm going to have to rely on you guys to send me a message or something. But you can let's have a look here. Just let me know. Keep going. Thanks, Trav. All right, that's a good thing. All right, excellent. All right, let's do this then. Before we create a bucket list, we're going to write thanks, Mel. We're going to write a reverse bucket list. Can you guys see my screen? All good? Excellent. Okay. First things first, before we write a future bucket list, we're going to write a reverse bucket list. So I want you to think a reverse bucket list is your done list. Everything you've done in your life as if it were on a bucket list all the way along, because I know a lot of you haven't got a written down list. What we're going to do is separate your daily to-do list from your bucket list, because guess which one gets done first on a day-to-day basis? It's your daily to-do list. And you're so busy being busy. It's like this weird ass badge of honor that we carry around. Oh, how are you, mate? Oh, I'm so busy. What are you, bragging or complaining? All right, let's get present to our bucket list right now versus our to-do list. All right, so straight up, what I want you to do is on that piece of paper is write down 3 things real quick, 3 things that you've done in your life as if they were on a bucket list all the way along. Go for it. Write down 3 things. And when you've done that, put them up into the chat. 3 things that you've done in your life as if it were on a bucket list all the way along. They can be as weird as hell. All right. They can be random. And it's not just about travel either. All right. I want you to brag into the chat. All right, if we were doing this in a live setting, I'd get you to yell out. I'd give you the microphone. But met President Obama. Okay, so that, all right. This is not a mine's bigger than yours competition. But yes, Tash has met some people. Met President Obama, traveled outside the States. Melissa, have you been to Australia yet? LOL. All right, what else have we got? Started a business. Excellent. Come on. What are some reverse bucket list items? Went to the Beyonce concert, lived in Turkey, traveled to NY, Milan, Dubai on the same trip, studied abroad, jumped off a cliff in Jamaica. Hopefully it was okay, Tori. Airplane lessons by Tonya, motorcycle lessons, skydive. Yolanda, random, rode a camel, bought a Jaguar. As in the car or an actual Jaguar? I'm joking. Went on a safari. Tommy started several businesses. Beautiful. All right. Bought a horse. All right. Purchased a house. Travel. Awesome. Okay. Became my own boss. Lived aboard. Fantastic. All right. So if I asked you to, thanks a lot, guys. If I asked you to do 5, that kind of stretches it. If I asked you to do 10, that stretches it even more. This is a big gratitude exercise. Everything that I've taught over the last 10 years of being the bucket list guy, right? Most of what I'm talking about is based on positive psychology. I studied a lot of positive psychology, and the positive psychology is performance-based psychology versus regressive psychology. Regressive psychology, you sit on the couch, you unearth all your childhood stuff, and the psychologist in effect tries to get you back to normal. In this group, no one wants to be normal, do we? We want to perform better. We want to reset and go at it from here on. So this is performance-based psychology. A lot of the foundation of that is positive psychology. That is helping people experience more meaning, purpose, fulfillment, and to live a regret-free life rather than a regret-full life, and be more mindful and more grateful. That's what this reverse bucket list concept is all about. Okay, so we've got to appreciate the foundation. We're living, a lot of us have lived by default rather than by intentional design. There's a lot of people sleepwalking through their life, living Groundhog Day, and a lot of people are simply existing, not living. I bet you can go outside with your mask on, of course, go outside and you see dead people. I bet you see dead people just like I do, that the lights have gone out. One of the things that I'm quoted on probably the most is people are dying at 40 and being buried at 80. People are dying at 40 and being buried at 80. You know people like that. So we're going to set the example for people, for people like that to follow, and that's us. All right, my bucket listers. Here we go. So let's get into the My Bucket List Blueprint. Write that down if you have to. People are dying at 40 and being buried at 80. Get it? Hey, why not? Get a tattoo of it, just as a reminder. The My Bucket List Blueprint, we're going to rush through this. What I want you to do on one side of your piece of paper, I want you to write this acronym, My Bucket List, okay? My Bucket List. And it just so happens that someone's written a book 2 weeks before Christmas, so this is pretty fresh. The My Bucket List Blueprint, we'll put the link up in a second, but you can go and order yourself a copy. You can get it off Amazon, but also if you want a signed copy, I can send it from Australia here as well and put a little message in there for you. But the My Bucket List Blueprint, and it goes into this in a lot more detail. I created this to help people start on their bucket list now rather than wait until later on. I want people to be happier now, not later on in life, okay? Nothing's more depressing than people sacrificing their happiness now to enjoy later, and they only get 5 or 10 good years. That is sad. And they haven't got the health to really experience life. Now is the time. All right, My Bucket List Blueprint. My Bucket List, here we go. Boom. So the My Bucket List Blueprint, it's an acronym to help you sort of go north, south, east, west in your own brain and help you extract and articulate a personally meaningful and holistic bucket list. So we're just going to rush through it here. Is why. I'm going to do it in a non-linear way, of course, just to keep you awake. Why stands for your proud achievements. What do you want to be really proud of before your time is up? Okay, what do you want to be really proud of? So for me, doing a TED Talk, and you might want to go on and have a look at that. It's called Life's Too Short by Trav on YouTube. And you'll see me, that was one for me. And it's an 18-minute talk, and at about 3 minutes in, I started going, I was so nervous. And me standing on a 3x3 red dot with 4 cameras on me, in front of 2,000 people. Yeah. Your proud achievements. Design and build your own house, maybe. You know, it could be whatever. Getting a certain a business award, an education, you know, level of education. Your proud achievements. Here we go. E stands for express yourself. This is the creative side of you. How can you put yourself out there in the world? Is it a book? Right? Is it a blog? Is it a YouTube channel? Is it a tattoo? Is it design? Is it art? Is it photography? E, express yourself. Here we go. U, watch this. Ultimate challenges. What are some physical, intellectual, maybe mental challenges that you can set for yourself right now? One of the challenges, having done an Ironman, having climbed a bunch of mountains, having done a marathon, that sort of thing, physical challenge. But one that I'm doing at the moment is reading 52 books in a year. Ultimate challenge. Mind you, I started off, I think, at War and Peace, you know, with really small font. And now we're down to like Mr. Men books. Just if you've got a one-page like ebook, I reckon I'll be able to cross off my 52 books. I'm only joking. But, you know, 52 book challenge is one of the ultimate challenges that I'm doing at the moment. So you, ultimate challenge, that's what that stands for. Here we go. M, the start. Meet a personal hero. Who do you want to meet before your time is up? Tash has already met President Obama. That's pretty much at the top of the tree. So I've had lunch with Tim Ferriss, met Sir Richard Branson, and I'm sure that I was on his bucket list as well. No, I wasn't. Meet a personal hero, you know, sports star, movie star, champion of a cause, you know, your version of a role model, an entrepreneur, superhero maybe. Meet a personal hero. B, this is the only materialistic part. Buy that special something, whether it be for yourself or for someone else. All right? Whether it be for yourself or for someone else. Okay? Buy that special something, big or small. Here we go. C, conquer a fear. All right. What are some fears that you want to conquer before your time is up? Yes, I was a nude model for an art class. Just a lesson here, guys. Don't do this one in the middle of winter. It's not good. C, conquer a fear. It might be public speaking. Might be doing things like this. But on the other side, see, a bucket list, guys. A bucket list isn't about just ticking a whole bunch of cool stuff off. It's really about how we reverse engineer every aspect of our lives in order to make this stuff come to fruition. It's the growth of you on the journey towards these self-imposed destinations. But more importantly, guys, it's about the person that exists on the other side, the person that you do not know yet. And that's called our potential, right? As human beings, we're addicted to seeing our potential. Get curious about your potential. What else can you do? People are dying at 40 and being buried at 80. We're existing, not living. We're living by default, not by design. Get curious about what's on the other side of your bucket list, the bigger version of you. C, conquer a fear. K, kind acts for others. Beyond yourself, what can you do out there right now? Right now, and the world needs you. Not about building an orphanage or anything like that. That's the big ones. That takes a lot of time and money. Can you give blood? You know, what are the smaller little things that you can start to do that can create that ripple effect? Kind acts for others. I, idiotic stuff. I know there's a 21-year-old backpacker still within you. Stop being so freaking serious. All right? This is your permission to keep having fun, for God's sake. All right? Keep having fun. Never grow up. All right? Idiotic stuff, just because. All right, T, take lessons. What are some skills that you want to learn before your time is up? All right? Language, guitar, harmonica, fly fishing, pole dancing, break dancing, DJing, whatever it might be. Take lessons. S, satisfy a curiosity. What do you want to taste, touch, smell, feel, experience before your time is up? This category does get weird. All right, satisfy a curiosity. And T, the last T there is travel adventures. This is what makes up a lot of people's bucket list, is travel adventures. you know, but right now we can't travel as much. So be a tourist in your own hometown first. Be a tourist in your own hometown first. It's about choosing happiness on the weekend. It's about choosing happiness and implementing that into your lifestyle a lot more. Travel adventures. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to put my details up, but what I want you to do real quick, are we all good? All right, here we go. Hopefully you can see this. Can you guys see that screen? Yes, all good? Excellent. Take a photo of that screen with your phone right now, and that's how you can connect with me. Okay, so let's connect. Oh, by the way, I'm going to put in here, just in the chat here, guys, is I want you to join, because we're now mates, I want you to join this group, the Bucket Listers group on Facebook, okay, on Facebook. So just seriously put in that Facebook, there we go. And also connect with me on the socials. I mainly hang out on Instagram these days, as sad as that sounds, which is bucketlistguy.travbell. All right, take a photo of that slide, connect with me. And by the way, here is the book as well, if you want to grab yourself a copy, and I'll shift it over. Sorry, there we go. Boom, there it is there. All right, have we got one more letter? We have, haven't we? All right, lastly, here we go. L, leave a legacy. Leave a legacy. How are you going to be remembered after your time is gone? You know, this is really important for me. You know, leaving a legacy. We got if you want to be a bucket list coach, then you know, direct message me, and we can have a conversation about that. But we've got bucket list coaches now all around the world. It's really cool teaching this stuff. And our ticket before you kick it sign. This is one of my legacies, but what's going to be yours? And in closing, I've raised some money for the Reach Foundation, a personal development, you know, program here in Melbourne, Australia, set up for wayward teens to get on the right track. And I love what they do. They asked me, the organisers said, "Thanks a lot for, you know, raising money for us, Trav. We'd really love you to come down and give a speech to our young adults, you know, no one over the age of 23 in that picture." And that was the group. I did a talk very similar to what I've done with you guys today. And right at the end, one of the girls in that picture got up, one of the young adults, should I say, got up, and she was absolutely bawling, crying her eyes out. She would have been about 19. And I said, "What's wrong?" in front of everyone. And she said, "If my younger sister had been here to see your presentation today, she wouldn't have killed herself 2 weeks ago." And that was one of the most poignant moments of my life. That's when I found out my why. So I want to thank you, Reset 360. You know, the panelists, facilitators, the other speakers, and yourselves, more importantly, for taking time out of your life to work on your life, and more importantly, with running with these ideas from not just me, but from all the speakers, and really making an example of what we need out there right now. Thank you for the platform for, you know, sharing my mission, guys, and you know, stoked that I could be with you. Cheers.